Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, or Chakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and we're here during the week of Pesach, during the Passover, and there have been a lot of signs and omens and strange works that have been taking place in the days before, on, and currently. And just wanted to talk about them a little bit because that's how the Lord tells us to measure the times, measure the times until the kingdom of heaven comes, until the Lord visits this place again. And we're there. We're seeing so many things happen and so quickly back to back that it's hard to keep up with everything. And so we're going to start here in 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1. He says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before." And so we're measuring the time by the prophecies that are occurring on the earth. And that shows us how far we are to the end of the heathen rulership or during the time of the Gentiles until the coming of Yahweh Shai and the kingdom of Israel. It says, "Then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." Because the Lord is coming back to visit this place, and that's why we're seeing these earthquakes and these eclipses and these different wars going on, and people worrying about their future, worrying about the economy. We're seeing collapses within infrastructure and different attacks that are happening. There are a lot of things going on, and it's just showing us that we are at the end of this current system that's here. And going into Acts chapter 2 and verse 19, and it says, "And I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath." And so, wonders in the heaven, there's eclipses going on, and there are more and more spottings of different chariots. And then down on the earth beneath, we're seeing different attacks. We're seeing, I just saw a tweet earlier, one of the brothers put it in the group, and it was showing, or speaking of the animals changing places. They're talking about someone that watches elephants and how the elephants have been acting different lately, seeking high ground. And if you know, animals tend to be able to sense changes within the earth a lot better than humans. So if there's an earthquake or some kind of inclement weather coming, animals will go and take cover well before humans know or see that it's happening. And these are signs showing us that this end is coming. It's very near. It says, "Blood and fire and vapor of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood." And our captain, Abba, was in my camp. He was mentioning how just last night we had a blood moon eclipse. And then April 8th, we're going to have this larger solar eclipse that's going to cross through America. And the eclipse that happened back in 2017, it crossed through 7 cities named Salem, short for Jerusalem. And this one that's coming April 8th, it's going to pass through 7 cities named Nineveh. And that cross makes it a big X, also makes the last letter in the Hebrew alphabet the Tha. And these are signs, these are warning signs. The Lord is about to cross out Babylon. It's at the end. And I thought that was heavy that he brought that out. And it says, before the great and notable day of the Lord come. And this is the time of Jacob's trouble. This is a time of great. In Daniel 12, it says it's a time of trouble such as never was. And this kingdom that we're currently in, this time of the Gentiles, is going to go out with a lot of violence because it came in with a lot of violence. And we have to go through this before we get to the kingdom of heaven. And then back to 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and I just saw yesterday off the coast of Canada, there were 2,000 earthquakes out there. And there are uproars of the people all over the world. For the last 5-6 years, we've been hearing about uproars of the people and different riots and different protests going on. And that's because the wicked are in charge currently. It says, when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And everybody is mourning, and they are at the end of it. And so there are these uproars and protests that are going on. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Because he wrote this book out. We're in a story. We're within a script. And all these things are going to play out, which the Most High wrote of before the earth was even here. It says, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And it's manifest to the hopeful elect, or to the elect, but these other people, they're blinded and they can't see that their end is nigh. And the ones that do see it, that are not of the elect, they are in great fear because they see that this system is collapsing. They see that their lives and lifestyles are collapsing, and that there's no bright future. The streets are darkened. Verse 6, it says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. So we're seeing these signs letting us know that we are at the end of Esau's kingdom and of the time of the Gentiles. It's run its course, and we can't wait to see it end. We can't wait to see these Edomites crying because their kingdom's over. We can't wait to see people getting paid back for scoffing. We can't wait to see the collapse of women and the power that they have, because that brings civilization down. We can't wait to see everyone repaid, whether it be good or bad. We are waiting for these things. And Lord willing, the work that we're doing is good enough to escape these things, and that the Most High does not judge us with these people. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon. And we have just had a lunar eclipse last night. There have been a lot of other lunar eclipses that have been taking place. And then we've got this solar eclipse on April 8th. And it says, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. There's great confusion. People don't know what's going on. The Christians are thinking they already should have been taken out of here because there's the 7 years of tribulation, which that's all BS. And they're not going to be saved because they don't even call on the correct name, and they add on to the book and they take away from the book. We're seeing strife between different nations rising up, like China and Taiwan. We're seeing the Ukraine and Russia wars going on. We're seeing Iran's always talking about something. These different nations are going against each other. There's tribulation down in Haiti currently. There's great distress going on. Also, wars are another big sign in which the Lord is showing us that we are at the end. Verse 26, men's hearts failing them for fear. Some of these things, people are just going to have heart attacks when they see this earth invaded by chariots of the Most High. There's a lot of people that aren't going to be able to make it just from seeing that. They're going to see people seeing that they're not going to be able to keep their bellies full. People saying they're not going to be able to protect their children and their families and their homes or their livelihoods. These are things that are going to make people stress out and bug out and have heart attacks. They're going to just keel over and die. But the hopeful elect, on the other hand, it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the strength of thy salvation and the stability of thy times. And so the elect already know what's going to happen. We know that America falls and gets nuked completely, and that the kingdom of heaven will be set up. We know that we have to go through these things to get out on the other side, and it's not going to affect the hopeful elect like it would your just regular degular individual. It says, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. This is to take out the elite of all the nations, the elite of the heathen. They're coming down. And seeing that they have a short time, they're going to come down with great wrath. That being the devil, the elite of the Edomites, or the Edomites in general are the devil, but their elite especially are about to be taken out of power. Devil going into deceiver, and this world is full of lies, and these lies have to be taken out. And it says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. That cloud being his chariot, and these chariots are what the world refers to as UFOs or UAPs, but they're identified. We know that these are the angels of the Lord and that they're the chariots of Israel. And as you see, there were all these signs from 25 through 26. It was telling you about these signs. And then at 27, Yahushua returns. So all these signs have to go back, have to come to pass before we get the return of Yahushua. Verse 28, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And the chariots are going to return, so we should be looking into the heavens, waiting to see the return of Yahushua, waiting to be delivered in these chariots to get out of this destruction before Babylon the Great is hit, aka America, and that lake of fire occurs. Much rather be looking down at it from safety than being in the midst of it. And so you should be able to tell these things aren't normal, these different disasters and pestilences that are occurring within the earth, and the return of Yahushua is very near. But there are still more signs that we have to witness, and more pestilences, and more great miseries that are coming on this earth. We still need World War III to kick off. We still need the mark of the beast to be made mandatory, or the MOTB to be made mandatory. And we need these prophecies all to come to pass so that we can get out of this place. And Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, or Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.